My name's Joe Knoll, and I am an Invisible Sun backer. Uh, Invisible Sun. It's been a long year. We've heard a lot about it, and but we haven't really seen any product yet, other than some pieces of art that Monte Cook Games has been so very generous to show us ahead of time. Um, Now, that's not to say that Monte Cook Games hasn't been doing a good job of informing us all. They have. And if any of you were at Gen Con this year, you would have had the opportunity to go to three or maybe four different seminars that had at least some kind of Invisible Sun uh, information in them. And one of those seminars, actually two of those seminars, you can see in their entirety on my channel. So go ahead and take a look. But back to why we're here today. It all started with this. Last year, I got a tweet from Monte Cook Games, as I'm sure most of you did. And that tweet said, "Hey, come take a look at our seminar that we're having." So I dropped everything and went to the seminar. Trust me, I was in line for a very good food truck. And I don't do that just for any game company. In that seminar, they gave some information about a new game coming out. And that game was, or is, Invisible Sun. Now, it looked great. I mean, all of Monte Cook's games look great. Numenera, The Strange, No Thank You Evil, the Cipher System rulebook, even their general rulebook, has got all new art in it, and it's a great game. But Invisible Sun was different. It's different because they were pitching it as a very niche game. First, it's deluxe. It's not cheap. It's a couple $100. Just under $200, I think, for the Black Cube. Two, it has a lot of physical components. It really emphasizes face-to-face play. Three, it has I believe three, different modes of play. One of which is supported by an app that happens outside of the table. So that really means that they're thinking very deeply about how the game plays, how groups will play the game. They were even talking about in their Kickstarter how, hey, maybe you only need one version or one example of their game with the Black Cube. So why don't all you guys chip in and in your gaming group and get one Black Cube? How many game companies do you know that say, hey, maybe your gaming group only needs one copy of this game? So anyway, so it was different on a lot of fronts. The first thing that clued me into knowing that it was different was this. When I went to the Monte Cook Games seminar last year in 2016, I received a black envelope. And in that black envelope was this. It was an invitation. Okay, and that invitation was said honored Visley. What the heck's a Visley? Right? At least that's what I thought back then. Now we know. The factory of Hendasha, currently of the glistening city of Satyrine, is honored to invite you to an upcoming mystical event of prestige and wonder. On the 15th of August, at this time, the infamous Black Cube shall be summoned via the power of the Invisible Sun, so that we may see what wonders it will provide. Should you wish to join us, please use the unique secret passphrase listed below to receive the special gift in conjunction with the appearance of the cube. We hope you will join us. So you're going to, just because I went to your seminar, you're giving me something extra. But what's neat about it is that, this is not normal cardstock. This is a fully embossed symbol on the bottom of it. There might have been 100 people there. It took time to put this together. It looks very good. Black envelope, wax seal, very nice. So it's actually a nice little keepsake. So anyway, did that. But still, haven't seen anything yet of what is actually in the black cube, except for art. Till today. Today, I show you the Sooth Deck. The Sooth Deck is the first component of the black cube that we will be able to see, get our hands on, look at in detail, and I'd like to do that with you here. So, let's get to it. The physical cube itself, or Sooth Deck, I should say, is a black cube. It looks like it might be a perfect cube. It has, on the top, it has this embossed, red embossed seal on the top. This is the symbology for the invisible sun. Now, that's appropriate because what we've learned through the Kickstarter is the invisible sun is the source of all of the magic, and that we also know from the Kickstarter and some of the things that Monte Cook has put out is that the Sooth Deck itself is the game mechanism by which how the phases of that sun kind of transform over time, and that in and of itself will affect gameplay. So let's get to it. Let's see what's in this cube. Okay, so inside the cube we have a deck of cards, and we have what looks to be some instructions. Let's look at the instructions first. The instructions. I'll set the cards. Let's see. Let's set that aside. Set those over there. Now, so the instructions. Here they are. With the back of them there. It says, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll give you a little flavor for it. It says, the invisible sun, Sooth Deck. It says, the currents of magic create a complex, ever-changing tapestry of power. Their fluctuations help or hinder varieties of spells and other magical practices. So, okay, that makes sense. Looks like there are 4 suits, which they are calling families. So 4 families: secrets, mysteries, visions, and notions. And they each have their own symbol. And the symbols look pretty easy to tell apart. And then each family seems to be associated with an animal, an object, and a classic element. So, for instance, secrets are ravens, books, and flame. Visions are swans, blades, and water. Mysteries are rats, mirrors, and stone. And notions are cats, clocks, and wind. Okay, so, interesting. Then it goes on to talk about how you play the cards, what the effects of these cards are. It looks like there are different named cards. They're called royalty cards. Special royalty cards have these effects. And the royalty cards are Sovereign, Nemesis, Defender, Apprentice, Companion, and Adept. Interesting. And then it goes on to give you a listing of all of the cards. So we have, looks like there are 60 cards in all. And they are all named differently. Yep. And then each of the cards also has a meaning associated with them, and those look like they're all unique. Meanings like judgment, safety, assistance, light, justice, or for another card is intimidation, power, ruthlessness, dark magic, necromancy. And then lastly, we have what looks to be the Path of Suns. Yes, it's the Path of Suns here. And the Path of Suns, you have the invisible sun here, and then all of the different suns that the invisible sun shines down on. So let's take a look at the Sooth Deck itself. First thing you notice about the Sooth Deck, the cards are round. They are, I'd say, a couple inches in diameter, maybe 3, 2.5 or 3. They are made out of a pretty thick cardstock. It's about the same, I'd say, as a good deck of playing cards as far as the thickness goes. The finish on the card is a glossy finish, more like what you would normally see on high-end game components from other companies. Looks like the graphic, at least on this one here, which is the kind of the title of the deck. You get one of these has the credits for the people who created the deck. Very nice, clear images. So going on to the actual cards, the back of the card has looks like there's someone here shushing, and superimposed over their face is this symbol here over the invisible sun. On the playing side of the card, we have a graphic. This one is cat, and what looks like we have a number on this side, and on this cardinal point we have the family or suit. They call them families. And then I think this is the name of the card, and this is where you this is where you have one of the royalties, I think they called them. This one's the companion. So let's just deal out a few of these and see what we get. Here's another cat motif. This is called Tyrannical Clock. It's an interesting image. It has a cat looking very haughty on top of a grandfather clock of some sort floating in the air. Okay. The next one is, this is interesting. This one is called Forbidden Game. And in this one, somebody is playing a game on an 8-sided board. I wonder if we will ever see that game actually published from Monte Cook Games. It looks pretty interesting. And this one here, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got two of the suns. It has the blue sun, which is highlighted in white, and then it's got the red sun, which is highlighted in a gray. And if I remember, one of the things that I had heard was that the one highlighted in white is the light side, which is ascendant, and then the one highlighted in gray is the dark side of that sun. So that would be the dark side of the red sun, or the nighttime side of the red sun. Next one is Lucky Coin. This one is silver and gold. Very interesting. And the other thing that I'm noticing here is these are all from the same family, and it looks like, if I don't mistake my guess, it looks like the art is very similar style, probably the same artist. So let's see if we can get a different suit. Let's see. No, let's cut from the middle. Brand new deck. It's probably not shuffled. Okay, here's a different one. This one is called Misremembered Dream. I think that Monte Cook has put this one on their website, maybe, before. This is a blue and a red sun, and it is this suit, which is the Mysteries suit. Let's try another one. Let's cut the deck somewhere else. Let's see what we get. Oh, yet another suit. And another type of art. This is Messiah. Interesting. I like this art style. This is, to me, these last two cards really went more into the surrealism of, or at least the art style did, went into the surrealism. I like that. That looks good. Well, let's cut one more. See what we get. Now let's get an example of each of the suits. We have one more suit, it looks like. There it is. This suit is Secrets, and it's Mysterious Rune, and it's yet another type of artwork. So it looks like to me that what Monte Cook Games has done is they've chosen a style of artwork for each type of each of the suits, and I like that. That's good. It's another way to ensure that you're communicating to the player or the players that all of these cards kind of go together in this suit. So that's very interesting. All right. So what can I say about the Sooth Deck that I've looked through already? I could say that is it a high-end product? Is it what Monte Cook has promised? I think so. My estimation of this is that yes, it is a high-end product. The cards are thick. They're physically interesting. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. The cut on the card, I'm very impressed with the cut on the card. At least in this deck that I have, which is a production deck. This deck that I have here, everything is cut exactly so that the images are in the center. It's actually a wonderful cut. And every piece of artwork is different in the Sooth Deck. Every image for every card is different. There are no repeats. So how do I feel about the art style? I like it. If I'm, well, I am going to be honest. I'll always be honest with you guys. I like this suit's artwork style. I think that it's very surreal, very beautiful, and I like. I like this suit here. This. It's different from the other in that it's I don't know what to call it. It's a little more I hate to use the word realistic, but maybe cleaner than than say this suit here. But it still speaks to me like it's being surreal. So I like those. This suit here is the these look like these are very evocative. Let's see, that is the Mysteries. So, if you look at this, it's got what looks to be rats flying through either a mirror or a portal, and then almost like as a mode of travel. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. Um, I think that I tend to and realize that this is a measure of degrees of like. um, but I think of all of the suits, I think that this style of art doesn't speak to me as the art style itself is as surreal as, say, something like this. I think it's a good choice for all the styles of art. Bear Whiter is, he's an excellent, art director, and he knows his business, and it looks great. So, exactly as I would expect from a high end, from a high end game. So, really, it's all I can tell you at the moment about this about the Sooth Deck. It's evocative. The artwork is evocative. I have yet to read through these instructions here. I don't know if there's some kind of mini game that you can play with the deck. I've heard, no, I don't think it officially, but I've heard that you could use them like a tarot. Um, and I could see that. It is kind of organized like a tarot. Um, but I really want to know what all these things do. I want to know what a companion card is like, and you know, what is what are the numbers on the sides of the cards? What do they do? And what is the image itself? Does it have any bearing on play? Is it just inspiration, or is that something very real in the game? I guess we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and find out when the black cube is finally summoned to our homes, and we can spend our time researching its arcane annals, so that we can unlock the mysteries that are the Sooth Deck.